You are listening to the On Purpose Podcast. All right, welcome everybody to the On Purpose Podcast. I am excited to be here with you again this week. Thank you to all our Patreon members whose financial contributions continue to push our message out to the world and help us build this purposeful community. Without you, we can't get this done. There are no ads. We don't have sponsors. We simply rely on our community to help support us, and we thank you for that. Today, I have a guest on here. I'm super excited to get him on. I've been following him on LinkedIn for a while. Not only is he a law enforcement officer, but he's a funny dude. He usually makes me laugh on his LinkedIn profile. And I thought, man, if he's making me laugh, we need a little more laughter in the world. So On Purpose Community, please welcome to the show this week, Eric McCants. Eric, how you doing, my friend?
I'm fine. How you doing, sir?
Doing well, man. I got you on the show. I'm excited to kind of help share your story and see how you can help impact our purposeful community.
Yes, sir. I'm ready to see how it goes.
Yeah, it's going to go well. But now I know you're a fitness guy, Eric, and I'm big into fitness too. I think honestly, that should be paramount for law enforcement, right? Like staying in shape, because people call you, they don't get a second chance to request a more fit officer to show up on that call. You know what I mean? You don't get a second chance to be ready for those guys.
Yeah, fitness is very big inside law enforcement because you never know when you're going to be in that situation where you're going to have to fight for your life. Additionally, law enforcement officers are getting a lot of foot chases. I mean, that's one big thing. And like I tell people, I say, I'm not going to tell you I'm good for 2 or 3 miles like some people I work with because I'm a pretty big fella. But, you know, that first 100, 200 yards, I'm going to be with you. So that's why I just think fitness, and especially taking some type of martial arts or hand-to-hand combat or grappling, is really important for the law enforcement community.
I love it. I love it. So since you're into fitness, I'm into fitness. This is kind of a fitness type show. I'm not going to just have you jump under the bench there, Eric, and start doing those 4 plates I see on Instagram all the time. I got to warm you up, my friend.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it takes a minute. You gotta warm that machine up before you get started.
Well, I'm about to warm your machine up right now. You can't just go right to purposeful comments. You got to warm up. So here's our warm up, Eric. You ready for this?
Yes, sir.
All right, here we go. Here's the first warm up question. Eric, you get stranded on an island for the rest of your life. You're on this island. You get one food to take with you. What's my man Eric going to be eating?
I'm gonna say ribs.
Ribs. Okay. Nice. What kind of sauce are you putting on those?
I like barbecue. I like sweet and honey barbecue sauce.
Sweet and honey. Okay. Good Southern barbecue choice there.
Yes, sir.
That's all right. Smoking them? How do you like the ribs?
Oh, yeah. Well, I have and a lot of people talk trash about. I have a pellet grill, but it's still a grill. It has fire on it, and I think it's the best thing ever made.
Who's talking trash on a pellet grill?
Oh, all the people talk trash about it. Like, well, it's a plug-up oven. I'm like, no, it's still fine. I say it's nothing like that. I say I guarantee you my ribs gonna taste better than y'all's on y'all charcoal and gas grill.
All right, that's good. Well, hopefully we'll get them to quit talking trash about your ribs, because you're gonna be eating them the rest of your life on your little island there. All right, next question for you, Eric. You get one superpower. What's your superpower gonna be, and why do you want it?
I'm gonna say mind reading. Be able to read people's mind. I mean, you can help out a lot of people too when you can read their mind, you know what they're going through, basically help them talk through a situation. And also, if you're talking to somebody and they're, being fake, you can kind of pick up on them, like, okay, well, he don't really like what I'm saying, or he really don't like me like that. He just listened to me. So I think that'd be a good power.
All right. Next one, Eric. We're big in our On Purpose community as far as reading and learning and continuing to self-improve. What is your favorite book?
It's The Power of Positive Thinking. I can't think of the name of the person who wrote it. I can't think of the name of it, but yeah, it's The Power of Positive Thinking.
Okay.
I'll think of everybody on the show, but yeah, it's a good book.
What'd you take away from that?
Well, just keeping a positive mindset. That and The Secret. Those are my 2 favorite books. I got about to tie right now, but basically just keeping that positive mindset, laws of attraction. Keep your mind focused on the good things in life instead of worrying about the negative.
Nice. All right. You get to have dinner with one person. They could be either still with us or have passed away. Who's that person? What's the one question you want to ask them?
Mm. I'll say my karate instructor and my Archbishop, Hiram Williams. The question I asked, basically how he kept it all together for so long, being over at church, doing martial arts, keeping family together, all that stuff. Just how he kept it balanced.
Right. Is he still with us or is he passed on?
He passed away. He passed away in 2011.
Okay. Okay. That's good to know. All right, Eric, how you feeling? You warmed up, my friend?
Yes, sir. I'm ready to go.
You ready for some heavy lifting now?
Oh, yeah.
All right. So talk to me, Eric. When we were preparing for this show, you said that your purpose in life, in addition to being a police officer, to help encourage and build others up, to help get them out of the dark place and focus on the positive things. What led you to wanting to invest so much in other people?
Well, like I say, over the course of my life, I've had the luxury of having individuals that come into my life and invest in me or basically fill up my bucket. I've had many good mentors that poured into me to help believe in me, even at my down moments. And I feel like since people help me that way, I need to help others. And like I say, from reading different books, listening to different audios from people like Les Brown and Eric Thomas and T.D. Jakes and other people like my uncle, the Archbishop, and my partner, Cedric Woods, that put me on the book, The Secret. Just telling people to keep that positive mindset. Like I said, I'm not gonna say I've always been a downer, but we all have the moments when we focus on the dark places or things that's going wrong in our life, and then eventually you're gonna have more bad things happening. But I've learned to come to understand that the more I focus on the positive things, and the more I focus on the good things that's going to happen, the more likely they will. I'm not gonna say bad things are not going to happen, but they're less likely to happen if you're focused on the good things because you'll put more energy towards those good things.
I love it. And what was there a moment in your life when you were like, man, I've been blessed by this person or this message and I have to repay it? Was there a specific moment that led you to that?
Just a combination of moments of my life from like taking martial arts, getting my black belt, getting pushed through that, going through the police academy and working my way through college while working, then having kids, getting married, and all that stuff. Just all those things in my life have helped build me up. And like I said, those people have sold in my life and contributed to the person that I am and the man that I am. And I felt like I needed to help others.
And what led you into law enforcement then?
Honestly, it just happened. Like I say, originally I went off to school for business management to help my cousin with the karate school. Like so I was really big into karate. I stayed at the karate school almost 24/7. Like we used to sleep there sometimes. And like he was teaching me martial arts, he was teaching me the business aspect of it. So I figured I'll go to school to become a business management to help run the karate school. Well, eventually, like I said, I was 17 when I went up to school. It became too much for me. I partied too much, had a little bit too much fun, didn't go to class, got kicked out, ended up working at a grocery store called Kroger. And while I was doing that, there's a law enforcement officer there talking to some other guy about going to the police academy and becoming a police officer. So I overheard the conversation. And during that time, my mother was bothering me, well, not bothering me, but telling me I need to go ahead and do something in my life. I need to get back to school, figure out what I need to do. I figured, why the heck? Tried out being a police academy. My mother supported me through it, ended up loving it. I've been doing it ever since.
What'd your mom say when you came home from Kroger that night? It was like, Mom, guess what? I'm going to go be a policeman.
Well, she was kind of actually supportive because, like I said, her brother, my uncle, Sneezy, he was a police officer, but he was one before I was born. So she was all right with it. She was just telling me that if I'm going to do it, stick with it. Just don't start something and not finish it. Because, I had kind of done that with college, that I started something and I didn't finish it. So, like, we're going to go through it. And I'm going to pay this money for you to go and make sure you're there. Make sure you go through and see it through. So that's kind of the message she gave me.
Yeah. So she supported it and she wasn't worried about you?
Oh, no. She said, just make sure you do what you need to do.
Yeah, that's good. And so how long have you been on the job now?
Right at 11 years.
Okay, 11 years. So you started in 2011, roughly 2010.
Yes,
all right. And how has it changed over the course of time? How has your perspective towards the job or the job itself changed during this time?
Well, honestly, like I said, I still love the job. Like I say, I'm an action type person. I like to be a go-getter. I like to solve crime. That's one of my things. But I'd say it's a little different now. People we deal with are a little different because, back in the day, people had, a lot of people still respect police officers, but now time, with the media and the bad image of it, a lot of people have a second thought about law enforcement that we're all bad or that, we're out to do evil and all that stuff. So that's kind of what's changed over the career. But so in there, we have many good patrons that support law enforcement, that are there for us, and that help us if we ever need anything. So kind of, it's kind of the same for me. But like I said, I've never lived in one of those places where people just outright hate the police and all that. So we all had a good support from our community around us as far as law enforcement and all that. So it really hasn't changed much. Like that, I've just changed different positions over the year. That's all.
Nice. And I think honestly, what you're doing with the humor and investing in other people's is exactly what we need to be doing to change people's perspective of law enforcement.
Yes, sir.
Right. You think about your story to even get into your career was a police officer just talking to another guy at Kroger, and you overheard it and thought you could do it.
Yes, sir. Yep, just being nosy, pretty much.
But what if he'd have been mistreating that person? What if he'd have been arrogant and contradicting and mean? How could that have went,
Oh yeah, probably would have turned me against it. And that's why I tell people you gotta make sure when you're dealing with the public that, in every situation you can't be,
I think I lost you there for a minute, bud. Every situation you can't be what?
Every situation you can't be delicate with everybody. Like some situations you got to have a hard hand, but even then you still must remain professional. Like I say, people still gonna be looking at you. I say never mistake it. You need to do your job. You need to go home at night, but just make sure you remain professional. Like I say, it's only gonna take 5 or 10 seconds for people to get a video or to get your body camera or whatever, and then they might try to ruin your career. So always remain professional, but still do what you need to do to handle the situation.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, even the worst people at the end of the day are still people, right?
Yes, sir. We're all humans.
Yeah, for sure. So how is it you are pushing yourself to constantly become better? Like I see the weight room stuff. What's the obviously use physical fitness and training to become better. What is the goal behind that, and how's that helping you?
Like I said, I've always been into like sports and fitness and all that stuff. And I'm just a competitive person. So like I said, I'm around guys that like people on my team. I'm one of the smaller guys. And like I say, I lift weights a lot, but these guys are stronger than me. So I'm just in a competition with myself. Basically, like I said, man, I see them pushing 4 or 5, some of them getting 500 pounds on bench press and all that stuff. And my head, like I said, I need to work up to that. I said they're not even worried about me, but like I said, me, I'm just a competitive person. So that's how I was in martial arts. Like I said, my cousin and them had me like that. And my uncle used to tell us when we used to go to karate tournaments, he used to tell us before we even competed, he said, if you don't win, you don't eat. And we used to go all to places like, we live in Georgia, from Florida to Tennessee to North Carolina, South Carolina. And, that's a long ride home for a big guy like me. Like, I want to eat. So you got to make sure you got to do what you got to do. You got to win that match. So
yeah,
it's just always been in me like that.
That's good. So you're still a big guy. So apparently he didn't starve you too much on those drive homes.
No, man, I will say law enforcement will put some weight on you if you let it. I say, man, just those in between snacks, you got to get fast food all the time. It's kind of rough.
How you like power rings?
Power rings, what's that?
Donuts, man.
Oh,
aren't those police power rings? Come on now.
I say, where I work at, they have a Dunkin' Donuts. I'm not a big fan of Dunkin' Donuts. I'm a Krispy Kreme fan, but with Krispy Kreme, I only like the glaze. They had to be like hot right off the conveyor belt. So it's like catch-22. I'm not really big into sweets, but if I do eat sweets, I'm gonna go overboard. So it's just fun.
All right. And what are you doing outside the job to help others? I mean, most of what I read about you is, getting others to believe in themselves and to find the good even in the bad. What does Eric do besides work to help share that message?
Well, like I say, I use social media to present the message, and also, like I say, a lot of people contact me just for encouragement or they need another job. And I'm just one of the people, I want to help people. So if they come to me with a problem, if I can't have the answer or find a solution, I'm going to find somebody to help them. And that's why I tell everybody, like I say, you might not have the answer to the problems for people, but you can help lead them in the right direction. Like I say, some people haven't been able to help me directly, but they led me to the right people. So that's what I try to do. And I also, like I say, spend time with my family. Like I say, I have 4 boys and 1 girl, and all the boys do like to wrestle and fight. So, they do karate also. And then taking them to the movies, they're real big Avengers fans. So got to keep them on that. But just spending time, like I say, I like to cook. I'm real big on grilling. Like I said, I do a pork butt on my pellet grill, and I say you put it on there for like 8 hours, man. Let it slow and go, man. It's pretty good.
That's nice. Slow and go. Yeah, that's how you got to cook the barbecue. You don't want to rush that. It'll dry out.
Yeah, see, a lot of people don't understand that. See, when people on charcoal grills and all that stuff, they don't understand that.
Yeah, see, they need a pellet grill. Even if you got to plug it in, it's still fire, right?
Oh yeah, it's fine. Come out, you put your hand in it.
All right, Eric. So talk to my community here. Talk to our community because now that you're on the On Purpose show, you're part of the On Purpose community, Eric. So talk to my friends out here. So maybe they're struggling with believing in themselves a little bit. You know, maybe they want to get started on that fitness journey. Maybe they want to start that new job. Shoot, maybe they just heard somebody talking about the police academy and they think they might want to join, but you're just not sure. Well, give them some of your advice on how to handle that fear that comes with trying something new.
Well, like I said, man, sometimes you just got to face your fear head on. I say you can't let it deter you. Like I say, many times we're all scared of something. I say that's one part of being law enforcement. You get those calls, you're gonna be scared, but you got to overcome that fear and go to the threat. So if you have a situation or problem that you're trying to face, like I say, don't focus on it defeating you. Focus on you going through it. Like I say, it might be hard, it might be a struggle. Don't let it defeat you. And that's like what I tell people about focusing on the positive. I say many times when people get defeated, they focus on them losing or in that happening. And then, like I said, they get that thought in their head, then it happens. And like I say, if you look back over your life, when you wanted to do something really bad and you accomplish it, you really thought about it. You had that law of attraction. You kept thinking about it. You wanted to do it so badly. So just focus on the positive things that you got going on or what you want to happen. So if you want to go to the police academy or like I said, you want to start fitness, I say everybody, get a daily journal or planner, write down what you need to do. If you feel like you need to wake up at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, get to the gym, write that down. Feel like you need to get to work early, get your protein shake, write everything down, be detailed with it. Make sure your goals are achievable. And like I say, make sure you have small goals that will help you get to your big goal. Because a lot of time is we're going to try to tackle the big goal. Like say you're overweight and you want to lose 60 pounds and you're going to try to do it in a year. You got to have a plan for it. Say that every month you want to lose maybe 10 pounds, 15 pounds. Don't just try to take it all at one time because it might overwhelm you. So just having small goals that lead up to your big goals. And like I said, always having a plan and keeping a journal and basically an agenda of what you need to do. Because a lot of times, we say we're going to do things, but like I say, once you start writing it down, you start putting pictures in front of your goal, it becomes more realistic and you can focus on something. So those are just a couple of things you could do to help you focus on that purpose in your life.
I love it. I love it. And you mentioned Eric Thomas. I'm a big ET fan. So do you start your day at 3:30 in the morning?
Well, I start at 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock, I wake up. So my gym opens at 5. So wake up at 4, get myself together, and hit the gym.
And that's your routine every day?
Well, I try to go to the gym 4 to 5 times a week.
Okay.
I say my coach wants me to rest at least a couple of days. If I do too much, I might strain myself out. But like I say I live 4 days and I do cardio 5 days. Well, a piece of cardio, if you want to call it that. But I do cardio 5 days a week. So.
You don't like cardio?
Man, I tell people, man, there's a lot of guys around me that like they say, man, let's go do a couple of miles. We're going to start off with a couple of burpees. First of all, I'm a bigger guy. That's a lot of men to be moving like that. And so I tell people, I got to take it by. But like I said, I'll go out there and run a mile, but, they be trying to run miles in 6 minutes, 5 minutes. I'm going to get you about 12 minutes. And like I say, if I'm going to push it, I can get you 10, 9 minutes if I'm really pushing it. But like I say, like with weights, I'll push myself to the end. Cardio, I say once that train starts slowing down, your heart starts beating too fast, my back, like, okay, let me just go in and get some water and sit down somewhere.
All right. You said something that I love and that I think is very important to people is that no matter where you're at in life, you're never too good to be coached. So you mentioned your coach wants you in the gym a certain amount of time. What do you have a coach for, Eric?
Well, like I said, man, I did a weightlifting competition last year. And like I said, I had another coach, and like I say, man, a guy named Robert Wilkerson, he's from Alabama. Like I said, he bench pressed like 700 pounds. He's actually the first man to squat 1,000 pounds. But just seeing them, how they worked out, how hard they pushed themselves, I like, instead of me just going to the gym, just, putting weight on the bar and just aimlessly doing something, the coach helped me focus on my goal. And like I said, the coach I have now, he helps me focus on my goal. Like I say, he's about 200 pounds and he deadlifted 600 pounds for B's and bench pressing 405. So he helped me get my technique together. And like I say, I'm working towards starting to compete. And like I say, he's helping me become better at all that stuff. So getting a coach and get somebody to help you focus on your goal helps a lot of people.
And what else? And the other thing I love about having a coach there is they hold you accountable, right? I'm guessing a weightlifting coach isn't probably the nicest guy in the world that's going to tell you just exactly what you want to hear, Eric. He's probably going to get on you a little bit if you're not doing what you're supposed to.
Yeah. My coach, Jermaine, I mean, I'm not going to say he's one of those people that, just go to get in your face and all that. But I'd say basically what he'll tell me to do, and that's why I tell people, that's why I record my videos most of the time, because we don't work out directly together. He'll record my videos, he said, get different angles so you can see if I'm doing my technique right. And then, like I say, if not, he'll criticize my technique. And he's like, okay, this is probably why you hurt, or this is why you're not moving weight like you need to. You need to focus on your form before you start putting on the weight on there. And like I said, I've been with him for about a year or so. Like I say, he helped me increase most of my lifts just by fixing my technique. And like I say, I'm not the most nimble person. Like I said, back in the day, I used to be, but now it's a little different once you get a little bit older. You got to put a little WD-40 on yourself. But he's helping me become more. I appreciate him for that.
Yeah, it's good. And that's what I want our community to understand is sometimes you are, like you talked about, your energy and stuff, you are who you surround yourself with. And if you take the time to hire a coach and bring a coach in whose job is to help make you better, you got to listen to them. And they're going to tell you things that maybe you don't want to hear, but you need to hear. I think too many times in our world right now, we want to be surrounded by cheerleaders. Right? We want people to jump up and down and tell us everything's rosy and everything's great. And it don't matter that you didn't try hard. And it don't matter that you came in last. Like, it's still good. But the truth is, it's not, right? Like, if you're not doing your best, that's not okay.
Very true. Yeah, a lot of people don't do well with constructive criticism. And like I say, it's just part of it. Like I say, I mean, most people are going to, might take offense to it. But like I say, even though they tell you to suck it up, do it over, whatever, just do it. Like I say, if they're trying to push you towards greatness and you want to get to that spot, I say, they're trying to help you, they're not trying to harm you. I say, suck it up, take it on the chin, and do what they tell you to do, because they're trying to push you towards something that's going to help better you. I say, that's how it was in martial arts, man. We used to get beat up. Like, they used to literally beat us up. And you think, like, man, are they trying to kill me? No, they're just trying to make you tougher. They're trying to make you a better person. If you compete against somebody else, once you get hit, you're like, okay, well, I'm used to this. Just part of the process.
Yeah, and I think that's a big part of the process, though, is too many people shy away from the difficult truths, right?
Yeah.
Like we want to look in the mirror and lie to ourselves. And I think that's one of the greatest disservice you could do to yourself in this short life we all have on earth, is to lie to yourself.
Oh, yeah. A lot of people, man, like I said, that's why they look for certain groups of people. They want people that just going to be there to tell them what they want to hear. They don't want to hear nobody that has a different opinion of them. And that's what happens to a lot of people, definitely leaders. They get in certain positions and they think like, okay, well, they want everybody to sing their praises. They don't want to hear criticism. But sometimes you got to come back down to level everybody else and understand that you're not doing everything perfect. Sometimes you need to work on certain things.
Absolutely. And I think if you're going to try to raise resilient children that can thrive in this world, they have to know how to deal with some pain. The pain of losing, the pain of being hungry a little bit, right? There's certain things that you can't know unless you experience it.
Yeah, and that's why I tell people, and the thing about it, people think pain is going to last forever. It does. Pain is permanent. I say, like Eric Thomas says all the time, it's pain in the process. I say, but I guarantee you're going to appreciate it more if you go through some pain to acquire something than somebody just giving it to you. Now, if you talk about $1 million, hey, more than likely you're going to be like, okay, I don't want no pain to get $1 million. But I'm talking about if you're working hard for a promotion or to get a new job or for your family and all that stuff, I'm not saying you want to get beat down. I'm saying you want to have something that you know that you worked hard for, that you put your blood, sweat, tears for, and you'll be proud of it. So that's why I tell people, I say it's pain in the process, but it's not permanent. I say just push past the pain. And that's why I tell people, I listen to like Navy SEALs and all that, so they tell you all the time when they went through their boot camp and Navy SEALs training, they said it was plenty of pain. I said many days they wanted to quit, but they pushed past it and it helped them become who they are.
For sure. I mean, that's the reality, is that pain, whether it's physical pain, mental pain, just uncomfortable of having to change your schedule to make things happen. That pain means you're doing something that's generally worthwhile, right? It means you want it, right? You want it. And at the end of going through that process is growth. But if we're always averse to pain and we do everything we can to avoid any kind of painful feelings, loss, sadness, being upset, if we try to avoid that at all costs, we stun our own growth.
Yeah, and that's why I said, that's why I got like two quotes. Like I got one today. I was listening to a speech from a Navy SEAL, and he said, "I'll die before I quit. Before I quit doing what I'm reaching to do, or if he's trying to become a Navy SEAL, he said, I'll die before I quit." Then the other quote that I always put on my videos is "Embrace the suck." Like I said, I was going through a alert training class, which is active shooting training class, and one of the instructors was like, "Man, you know, you might be tired, you might be hurting, but he said, man, just embrace that suck. It's going to help you push through it." He said, "You feel that pain, use it for something. Use it as motivation to help you get through it."
Yeah, that's true, right? Because, I've coached many, many students, and that's what I always tell them. And one of the things I like to tell them right now is, if you just now thought about quitting, right? Whether we're running, we're lifting, we're sparring, whatever the case may be, as soon as you start thinking about quitting, I'm happy for you. I'm super happy. I'm glad you're starting to think about quitting. You know why?
Mm-hmm.
Because that meant you just got better. Because up until you wanted to quit, you were in what I would call your comfort zone, meaning you've already been there. That's why you didn't think about quitting for the 12-minute mile, because you've done it 1,000 times. You know you're not going to quit on this. But now you push it for 10 minutes. That last lap, you're thinking like, man, this sucks. I want to slow down. I want to quit. And when you think about quitting, it's good for you, I believe. If you quit, if the actual act of quitting, stopping, make it all go away is bad. But if you think of quitting and you continue forward, you just found improvement.
Oh yeah, you learn how to push through it, and that's why I tell people, man. I say it's easy to quit. I mean, it's easy just to say, you know, I don't want to do this no more. I'm tired. But pushing past it requires a lot of passion, a lot of drive, a lot of tenacity. And I say a lot of people, definitely in today's day, just don't have it. I say I've learned that from working around kids and working around people. When you get in their face and you tell them to do something, they just break down. They're like, okay, well, never mind, I don't want to do it no more. They just pack up their bags and leave. And like I say, those are like the people you want around you. You don't want those people on your team. But like I say, when it's going hard or you're involved in a match and it's getting tough, they're going to quit on you. So like I say, you just can't be out here quitting on people.
No, and you can't quit on yourself. That's the number one.
Yeah. Gotta hold yourself accountable.
Yeah, for sure. Now, how do you balance that, Eric? So you're raising, would you say 4 kids, right? 3 boys and a girl? Or 4 boys
No,
and
it's
a
5.
girl? 4 boys and a girl.
Yeah. Well, the older two are, you know, the oldest boy is 18. He just graduated. The girl, Anastasia, she's 21. So they're basically adults. But then we have the 3 younger ones who are 11, 8, and 5. And like I said, it's not really hard, but I mean, you got to keep them together. Because like I say, having boys gonna be boys.
Yeah.
They'll tear up your house in a minute, and they're gonna eat you out of house at home. So
that's why you got the pellet stove, Eric.
Oh yeah, man. You know, put them in a little, pizza in the oven or something. Tell them go at it.
So how do you juggle that kind of message for your kids to try to raise resilient, tough-minded kids who aren't afraid to fail? And in today's society where a lot of kids are being just shied away from even trying, how do you balance that?
Well, so you got to tell them that, at the end of the day, you're going to fail at something. I say no one's perfect. It's going to happen. But you also got to encourage them when they're going through that process. Like I said, a lot of times they'll get discouraged and they don't want to do it no more. You tell them that, okay, it's all right, but it's not all right to quit. I say we all fail. And sometimes seeing you fail at something and then seeing you go back at it until you make it happen helps them. Like I said, people like me, I'm a visual learner. I see things by looking at it. Like I say, my kids are the same way. They have to see it so it can happen. And that's like one of my youngest son. He's really big into weightlifting. He's 5 years old. I put him on weight bench. He sits there and watches my videos, so he wanted to lift weights too. So he's a visual learner. You just got to encourage him. When he first couldn't hit the weights he wanted, he got frustrated. You're like, well, I don't want to do this no more. How about we just lower the weight and then we try it again? Then once he got it, he did it for a couple of reps, got a couple of days under it, and he started to hit the weight like he wanted to. I told him, I said, it takes time. You're not always going to get it done on the first time. So just because you don't make it happen on the first time doesn't mean you have to stop.
Yeah, I love it. And I think you said something very important there, Eric, and it's something I truly believe in is it's okay for your kids to see you fail, right? So many parents tell kids, like, don't be afraid, go try something new. Don't worry about failing, go try this. But they don't do it themselves. Right? It's almost a double standard. Parents are playing the safe life they've had forever because it delivers comfort, but they want their kids to get out of the comfort zone and go try new stuff. I 100% agree with you. Like, show them how to fail.
Yeah. Show them how to take that hit on the chin and keep pushing.
Yeah. Is there a specific memory you have of, maybe talking with your older kids of like, man, I dropped the ball on this one. This is dad's bad right here.
Oh yeah. Well, like I said, just recently, like I said, I just passed my get my instructor certification for law enforcement. But like I said, it took me 2 tries to do it. I started in 2014. I tried it then, and like I said, it's a 2-week course, but basically it doesn't do anything with law enforcement. It teaches you the dynamics of teaching, like how to reach your audience, liability and all that stuff. But anyway, the first time I did it, I was working night shift and going to class during the day. Didn't pass. But I felt I need to be a instructor. I felt like I could reach people. So I tried it again the year before last in 2020. Went through, I felt like I was doing good. But like I said, I wasn't giving it my all. I wasn't putting my all into it and studying like I needed to. Ended up getting passed. And I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna pay for it myself. I'm gonna go through it. I'm gonna make sure I push myself. So I basically shut everything down for those 2 weeks. Was able to push through it. And I let them know, like, hey man, it took me 3 times through this class to make it happen. Like, it took me a good minute to get it, but I'm happy to say that I'm an instructor and I can teach other law enforcement officers.
Nice. Yeah. And it's something good for the kids to see tenacity and not giving up when something doesn't come easy.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I'll tell you, like, one of my best teaching moments was my last MMA fight. I got knocked out and lost in front of 5,000 people, including my family. And 2 things I'll share with you from that, Eric. One, getting knocked out doesn't hurt that bad because you don't remember it. And 2 is, I was undefeated up till that point, and I had a lot of people coming. I was a policeman, so the whole agency was there, and the community was behind us. But losing in front of all of them was one of the best things that happened to me because it allowed me to model how to lose and how to come back from losing, and that losing isn't permanent and doesn't erase everything you've done up to that point. But now here, I will tell you this, Eric. I do not recommend losing or getting knocked out.
Oh yeah. We all been there.
Yeah,
I've been like that plenty of times.
Yeah, I don't recommend it, man. All right, Eric, talk to me about filling up others' buckets like others have filled yours. Why is that so important to you? And if you could share with our audience, like, a couple of things you do to mentally make sure that you're giving more to others than you're taking. How do you work your way through that?
Well, basically, like I said, one of the things I do first is, like, say, every day, every morning, I make sure I listen to some sort of motivational speech to help me prepare myself. Like I say, you don't want to go into the day with a bad mind. But I feel like if you don't start your day out the right way, it's going to keep going downhill. But anyway, I make sure my mind's clear. I'm in a good mind. And then I remember that I need to at least try to help somebody. And like I say, one of the best ways I know I can help people is through my LinkedIn profile. People come to my LinkedIn profile for advice and for different things. And like I tell people, I say, I give them these different books and different movies to watch that have helped me. And I let them know that, hey, even though you're going through something right now, it's going to get better. This pain or whatever you're going through can't last forever. I say, I know you're disappointed. You might have lost somebody. You might not get the job you wanted. You might not have approved to get that car, whatever it is. But sooner or later, something better is going to happen. I say, take it on the chin, put it behind you. And that's the thing about it. When people lose, sometimes they keep their loss in front of them. And that's what really defeats them. Like, yeah, okay, someone else got that job for me, then you're just going to be spiteful towards that person. You can't be like that and expect to be blessed. So, like, I'll tell them, I'll give them these different videos. I said, I don't know if you ever heard this video by, can't think of his name, but it's about a 3rd grade dropout. Anyway, the guy talks about his father who's a 3rd grade dropout by being the wisest person he knows. I give that video to different people, but like I say, it helps me. I listen to it almost every week. It just helps inspire me. And then, like I say, I have a motivational playlist that I just send to people, and I tell them, hey, man, find a video that helps you and just keep listening to it. Keep refreshing your mind about the good things in your life, about the good things that's going through it, and understanding that, you're going to have pain. You're going to take some losses. It's part of life. But you push through it. And that's how I try to fill up other people's buckets, trying to encourage them like people have encouraged me. Because like I said, we all have our down moments. We all need somebody to come grab us by our shoulders and pick us up. I'm trying to help people do the same thing, pick them up and pull them in the right direction, which is forward.
I love it. All right. So now I got to ask, because one of my favorite videos of yours was the whistling in your shift briefing.
Oh.
So what made you start whistling? That was a lieutenant, I think, that got kind of irritated with you.
Oh no, but that's my partner. He's the one who brought me on, like on the crime suppression team and all that stuff. He's my partner, Vache Phil. But anyway, like I say, my grandfather is a big whistler. And he always whistled. So I picked up that habit of just whistling. Like I hear a song on the radio and I'll start whistling because I was a musician. I played the violin, I played the trumpet, I played the baritone. So music's in me. That's what I do. So I was whistling one day and I wasn't even paying attention, but then I looked over and he was fuming. And then he just got loud. He was like, "Could you please stop whistling?" I was like, "What's wrong with you?" I kept asking, like, what's wrong? Why you get so upset? And the whistling just bothered. He said it's like scratching the nails on a chalkboard. I think it's not that bad. And like I said, I'll be forgetting, like I'll be talking to somebody and I'll just start whistling. It's just a natural habit. And then one day I was like, you know what? He kept talking trash about something else. I'm like, I'm just gonna record this. So I started whistling and I looked over and then he was just getting heated. And he was trying to stay calm. He was trying to let him know that I was bothering him, but he just couldn't hide it. Then eventually he just got upset. I was like, "Oh man, calm down. It's just whistling." And then he just went on from there.
And do you still do that?
Oh yeah, I do it all the time to him. And like I say, he's a bigger guy. He's bigger than me. And so I just like upset him. I just see how far I can push him.
Well, I love it, Eric. And thank you so much this week for joining us on the On Purpose podcast. Where can our community follow you at?
On LinkedIn, like I said, that's where my biggest following is. So I'll put out the most content. Like I said, you just look me up at Eric McCants down there at the Burke County Sheriff Department.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you so much for coming on the show, Eric. It's an absolute honor to share your story, and thank you for the great work you're doing.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you having me on.
And remember, team, life is far too short to live any other way than on purpose. We will see you all again next week.